he has written throughout his time. One that I know that's like a little out of nowhere, but he wasn't a sociable child growing up. Although he had a great childhood from where he was living, he wasn't most like the person that would just go out there and start talking to people. Once again, he was unsociable. This will be an important key fact as we continue talking about Henrik Ibsen. And of course, this notion of being unsociable and exile throughout the play of Hedda Gabler.
Looks like one of the dwarves.
Yeah, isn't he a beautiful individual? So good. When he was entering into college, or trying to get into college, he took an exam, of course, as you can see, he failed. So this is what he took his turn into writing plays and being a journalistic person, or writing for journals, sorry. During this time, around 1849, he started writing his first play, which is Tintaline, I believe. But the thing is, it was rejected when he tried to submit it. But later on, as he got more popular, these plays were being more adapted, taking place within theaters. But, it's all struggling actresses, writers, who first started at the bottom, working way to the top. So this is definitely what he was doing. In 1864, he moved to Italy. This is one of the main parts of his life where he started writing abundantly a lot of plays. And of course, he wrote the groundbreaking play *A Doll's House*, which is in 1879. And this is one of the parts, along with Hedda Gabler, where he started from taking the approach of writing in the well-made play to starting going into realism, which we will also talk about later on in the lecture. But as he pursued this interest in realistic drama, it started gaining more international fame. It wasn't popular at first, but then it started going on, and he was considered the founder of modernist play because it's strange, in the first of his career, he was doing the modern play of the time, well-made plays. But then he started adapting to a more realistic approach, going to his plays more focused on realism itself. So that's a lot of criticism as considering him as like the founder of modernistic plays. Did you want to say something? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were going to say something. But he completed his last work, Hedda Gabler, which, as you can see when you read for next class, concerns a lot of realistic issues, realistic portrayals of the real life. So, 1906, he died at the age of 78. Reportedly, some of his last works, his nurse suggested, his last words, I'm sorry. He only continued, I think, the last 5 years before his death, he just started writing altogether. He was at a point where he wanted his life. He had a lot of strokes. Well, if someone, an individual that has strokes, you start to become more of an invalid. He was already an invalid as was, because he was, I believe when he lived in Italy and Germany, he wasn't, when you hear the term exile, he wasn't forced out of the country to live there. He just became like a hermit. He didn't want to be social with anybody because he wasn't unsociable in the beginning, or he wasn't social in the beginning. He just surrounded himself with just his books, writing his plays, once again, continuing his unsociable character. But during this time of exile, we get these tremendous plays that he writes. But I thought this was a little funny. Reportedly, his last words after his nurse suggested that he was going to get better from his strokes, he went, "On the contrary," and then died. So I just thought that was a little ironic. Once again, when I'm talking about how Henrik Ibsen was basically the founder of modern plays, capturing the realistic portrayals of life, doing it within his plays. As you can see, rather than simply rejecting techniques of the time, he transformed them into a drama, making it real life. Once again, realism. He did it to a view that seemed shocking, but yet modern to the audience. Because once again, during this time, well-made plays, what they did was they were like the Hollywood films today. They focused more on props, making it seem the action, just all about action. They didn't concern about the well-developed character or the audience taking meaning or morals from the character. Because during this time as well, props were getting more developed. They were they're being more developed, they're more widely used in plays. And so since because of this, they were just more about putting on entertainment, which is what plays do, but with Henry Ibsen's plays, what they give is you take a meaning from it, rather than just being entertained. And once again, this goes to the definition of a well-made play. You don't normally have to familiarize yourself with this definition. More realism is the key term, what we're focusing on today. But well-made plays are formulaic dramas. They focus on less and well-developed characters than on complicated plots and well-timed confrontations, meaning there are more about the action rather than the relationships and how they develop as characters. So it's just like the Hollywood films that we see today. So for example, Rush Hour, you see all these cars, or no, Fast and Furious, okay. It's just nothing but action. You know, right?
No, I was laughing at the mix up between Rush Hour.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, those are two very
I know, I
different
was like, wait, no, this is a different one.
Rush Hour.
No, but
Too rough.
Fast and Furious, it's just nothing but action. No main character development, there is character development, but that's not the main focus of the